Once we came up with their worst case scenario price, then we basically showed them what all of their costs would be, how much their loan payoff would be, and how much money we could take from this home and put down on their other home. Okay, so how do you know how much equity you have in your home? Well, there's a lot of different steps we take to find a little bit of a range of how much equity you have. So the very first thing that we do is we always look at the solds. So we found this home that's exact same as the home we were going to list, and they basically were getting $230 for their house. And if we keep looking up, the other one got $230 for their house. The next thing we look at is, well, what's the environment like? What are the comparable homes competing on the market? And when we looked up the competing homes on the market, we saw that this home, about a week before we're going to list our home, they were listed at $243. We saw another home that was listed at $239 that had just gone on the market, and we knew another one that was listed at $239. So we knew all the solds were at $230. Well, then we looked at what's going on the market, and they're all trying to push their price up to $240. We were looking at their days on the market, how long it was taking for them to find a buyer. In the past, all the homes at $230, they basically found a buyer within 2 to 4 days. So they were selling pretty fast. Well, we all pretty much hit the market at the same time as 3 other units. So we know all the others were selling at $230. Our client, we gave him a worst case scenario. Your worst case scenario is $230. Once we came up with their worst case scenario price, then we basically showed them what all of their costs would be, how much their loan payoff would be, and how much money we could take from this home and put down on their other home. What ended up happening? Well, one sold June 30th for $232. The other one sold a week later for $235. We ended up getting $240 about a few days after that last one. Now, one of the things that we were doing is we were talking to all the agents to find out what sort of activity they're having on their home. We were talking to agents to see if they were getting their appraisals and what their appraisals were coming in. There was a lot of work going on behind the scenes trying to figure out if we had an obstacle ahead of us. But our client ended up scoring. They ended up getting the highest price out of everyone in the neighborhood. They got $10,000 more than their worst case scenario. So there's always a range in which you're going to get for the sale of your home. But we like to try to figure out what's the worst case scenario to see what your equity position is. And that way you can make a decision in moving forward if you're going to be purchasing a new home or not.